We received a massive announcement at Warcraft Direct today. A new Hearthstone expansion. Oh yeah, and fresh classic servers. I think the funniest thing about Warcraft Direct is while waiting for the time to tick down for it to start, once it ticked down to 0, another timer started. Speaking of timers, the time spent covering Warcraft Rumble, 5 minutes and 11 seconds. The time spent covering the new season of Discovery content, 48 seconds. Yeah. Nearly 6 times as much time spent on a mobile game that I had forgotten existed. In that 48 seconds, they mention instance content for Scarlet Crusade and Deadwind Pass, so I think that's cool that they're exploring raids in those areas. That's something that players have wanted for so long. I think it sounds cool, though if you know me, I have no interest in playing SOD at all. I tried it, it's not for me, but if you enjoy it, then I hope it's everything you hope it to be in those other phases. I know San Medina has been going crazy about SOD. He seems to have lost a lot of faith in it.
I am absolutely furious. I am just furious. Blizzard is such a piece of shit company, dude. Sod died of natural causes. He slipped on a banana peel and it fell on 20 bullets.
My whole day is ruined. My whole week is ruined.
Dwarf Lord is here. Dwarf Lord. Okay, that's the real winner of this situation here, like the Era boys. You know, I like Era. I like Era. If we get fresh Era, I'm probably gonna play it. I'm happy with that. But why do you have to kill Sod, though?
After the time spent on SOD, they spend even less time on Cataclysm. And then they announce Fresh. Now here's my reaction to when they announced Fresh.
These realms will be going live next week on November 21st, but you won't have to rush to level 60. Classic is all about the journey after all. As we've made a change and our...
As you can see, I had somewhat mixed feelings. Honestly, I was not super hyped. I'm still trying to process. I had to like sit in a dark room and like process what I just heard. 8 days is not a lot of time to prepare. And I understand that people want Fresh. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It just seems rushed. And even if you want Fresh, surely you can understand that it seems a bit rushed. The timing seems a bit rushed. 8 days? Crazy. And it's being released in tandem with so many other versions of the game. You currently have Cataclysm, you've got Era, you've got Hardcore. What's going to happen to the old Hardcore servers? Because they're releasing new Hardcore servers, and they are releasing, of course, Fresh. There's also Retail. Am I missing something? There's just so much going on at once. They're really splitting the player base. I'm honestly curious to know how many people are actually going to play Hardcore. I know there are people who love Hardcore, and they're going to play it. And I know that OnlyFans is going to be big. That's going to draw people there. But with Fresh, I mean, maybe some people who are going to do OnlyFans are going to just do Fresh instead. But alas, Fresh is what we're getting. And while I do not agree with the timing, I do know that a lot of people want it. And so I know I'm happy for you. Believe me, I'm happy for you. Probably the best thing that we're going to get from Classic Fresh being released is, and I'm not holding my breath, but hopefully Blizzard fixes Classic, because like there's so many bugs that the game is just broken. And there are a lot of add-ons that are sort of depreciated. So hopefully either they get updated or new authors write new add-ons, or the old ones kind of get picked up by a new author. Something like that. That would be a win. Holy shit. This is cancer. Will I play Fresh? A lot of people are asking me this. I will try it. I tried SOD. I don't play SOD anymore. I do not know how involved I will be in Fresh. San Medina wants me to join his guild or help him make a guild and raid lead or something. I don't know. And it seems it would likely be a horde guild. Can the Dwarf Lord go in a horde guild? I mean, I have horde characters, but dwarves are kind of my thing. I got a thing for dwarves. I've also got friends making an alliance guild. I might make horde and alliance. Who knows? It's all up in the air at this point. I will say that I've played so much alliance that maybe playing a fresh horde experience could be fun. Be very interesting. I've played horde, but in phase 6, not the whole leveling process. So that might be interesting. Obviously, I've leveled on horde. The gearing in phase 1, phase 2, it could be good. All I can say at this time is I will try fresh. I don't know if I'm going to make a guild. I have people who would join my guild. But I don't know. But yeah, I know the appeal for fresh. Trust me, I know. But part of me expects it to maybe not last that long. People tend to quit after Blackwing Lair. It's just a thing. And then they ask for fresh again. Now, the timeline on the fresh servers is very accelerated. It's like 1 year long. We go from autumn to autumn. This time next year, Nax Ramus. That's pretty fast. WoW Classic is a slow-paced MMORPG. I've talked about seasonal realms for Classic and how long things should take. And in Season of Mastery, they tried to make it 1 year long, but it ended up taking much longer than 1 year. It didn't take a full 2 years, but it's really difficult to scrunch Classic into a year. If you look at their timeline, it says in autumn, there's going to be AQ40 and Nax. Like, it's just, you're going to bang the gong, kill Cthulhu a couple times, and then your Scourge invasions. I don't know. This brings me to Classic Era. I have played Classic Era for 3 years now. I'm quite established on Classic Era. Classic Era is home to me. When I log in, I see people. It's like, I know you. And it's like we're all friends. It's kind of fun in that regard for me. For someone who just logs in, they're level 1, they don't know anyone. But for someone like me, surely you can understand that. It's, you know what Classic Era might mean to me. I have 7 full bis characters, at least, well, 99.7% full bis. They're very close to being full bis. Most of them are ranked 13, 14. Like, that took me a long time to do all that. I'm very invested in the game. In 2019 Classic, I couldn't play more than one class. I just had my warrior. I got it to rank 13. I was in grad school. On Era, I've been really able to sink my teeth into the game that we all love so much. I've been able to learn so much about the game from different point of view, different roles, different classes, even the different factions now that I'm playing some Horde. And on Era, I still feel like I have so much unfinished business. I just got a Thunder Fury on my Rogue like 3 weeks ago, and now here's fresh. And here we go again. A lot of people commenting in guild discords or in Shade chat on my streams, they're like, I can't do it over again. I don't think I've got it in me, they say. So while some people are like, I want fresh, I need fresh, other people are like, I think I'm staying on Era. Yeah, I can see both sides, both opinions, and so hopefully you can too. What is it like on Classic Era right now after the announcement? Panic! It's no secret that there's an army of bots on Classic Era. That's been covered many times in many videos. but the auction house is packed full of cheap consumes and raw materials at the bots farm. It is expected that bots will leave Era. They're dumping their stockpiles. And we are buying them up. Stocking up for winter, you could say. Guilds are doing polls to gauge player interest. From what I've seen, it's pretty much 50-50, split right down the middle. Some are going to stay on Era, some want to try fresh. Some want to try fresh and still raid on Era. I can tell you that currently raids are still being run on Era. Battlegrounds are still popping and buffs are still dropping. The announcement of fresh just happened, but nothing really changed yet. Era's not going anywhere. It's been here for so long. It's not going anywhere. But at the same time, there has been a hatred for Era by people who want fresh for so long. They didn't clone their characters, and they don't want to start on Era and be left behind when you have all these people level 60. They're in Nax. They don't want to have to play catch up because they didn't want to spend $5 on cloning on their character. One thing we haven't heard, actually, side note here, Blizzard says that Burning Crusade is going to release after the Classic Fresh. Now, I have zero interest in Burning Crusade or Wrath. I'm sure you're going to be able to transfer your character to Era. Hopefully they don't screw it up and try and charge people again. Blizzard shot themselves in the foot right there. But yeah, the people who hate Era, we all love the same game. You hate Era, but we all love the same game. To the people laughing, haha, get fucked, Era clowns. Like Era's gonna die or something? That is such a weird take. Such a really weird take. And they've got no clue. Era's not going anywhere. The people, there are hardcore Era players. Not hardcore like if you die, your character's gone. Just these are like Era people through and through. Trust me. They just don't have it in it to go again. And you can't blame them. It's a lot of work. It's a big time investment to be playing on a game like this. They've got that one or two geared characters that they love, and to start over, it's just not feasible. At the same time, there are people who they couldn't play in 2019 Classic, and they are stoked for fresh. Maybe they couldn't play because they were deployed. They were working overseas. Maybe they were taking care of someone who was sick. Whatever the case may be, now these people have their chance to finally experience a fresh Classic, and that's amazing. I'm happy for those people, and I'll be there with you. I will play it too. Like, I'll be with you. Well, at least I'll try it. But for Era, that's my home. And to be ostracized for playing it, that is really weird. Really weird. That's like people who picked Charizard hating on people who picked like Bulbasaur or the little water guy. And I'm more than well aware of the issues that Classic Era has, believe me. There's a lot of gold on it. I get it. But like as the Era population skyrocketed, it attracted bots. Well, guess what's going to happen to Fresh? I'm very positive the bots are going to move to Fresh. Even though there's not going to be GDKP on Fresh, there's still going to be bots and gold buying, and those are things that I'm against. Many people dislike Era due to the bots and the GDKP, and while GDKP will remain, I don't think it will be long before many bots exist on Fresh. And on the flip side, Fresh will be banning GDKP. It wasn't in Warcraft Direct, but it was in the Blue Post. And on the Blue Post, some people are like, I'm not playing it because I want GDKP. And other people are like, thumbs up for banning GDKP. Other people are like, I wish you didn't ban it, but I'm still playing Fresh. So people are kind of mixed. Many people in Era like GDKP. banning GDKP on Fresh could actually be something that it provides something unique on Classic Era that Fresh doesn't have. Fresh mentions that it will have the upgraded ranking system. That system's not perfect, it's not great. Both Horde and Alliance, they need the same amount of honor. But if one faction has instant queues and the other one has slow queues, now their honor per hour is different, so one faction it's more difficult to rank on. In Ally, in 2019, the Alliance had instant queues because there was less Alliance and more Horde, and the Horde had longer queues. And so, you know, different factions, different realms, they had different caps. But to have everyone having to get the same honor, it's not always the best solution. I understand the challenges of trying to make the ranking system better, especially when the old one was far from perfect, but at least the old one was based on how much honor you could realistically get. I hope this all makes sense. In closing, I will try Fresh. And in this week coming up, I will knock all of the videos off my list that I'm working on here. And in preparation for Fresh, I will play the shit out of my characters in the form of PvP. And I will continue stockpiling consumes for the winter so that I'm going to have like 1,000 Thistle Tea and like 1,000 Mongoose. I'm going to have so much potions. I'm going to make like 10,000 Sappers so that I have mats for years to come on Era. And yeah. Maybe I'm going to make a Tauren Warrior on Fresh. I don't know yet. I don't know. Tauren Lord. No, that's a silly name. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of thoughts here. A lot of thoughts to get out. And I'm sure more thoughts will be thought as time goes on. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a sub and a comment. Catch me live on my Twitch channel, Dwarf Lord TV, to connect with me or say hi to me in game on any of my characters. Dwarf Lord out.
And they say that the Dwarf Lord could save us. I'm not gonna pave here and wait. I'll hold on to the beard of the Dwarf Lord. Watch as we